What's going on, guys? It is the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you an awesome video, the top 10 best themed roller coasters at Cedar Point. I was planning to make a top 15 or top 10, as I said in my last video, which was the top themed roller coasters in the United States, but now I'm doing the best themed roller coasters at Cedar Point. And this park is known for not having the best themed roller coasters, so I decided to narrow it down to a top 10. So we are going to be moving on to number 10, in my opinion. So first up at number 10 we have Raptor, and this is a very fun B&M invert. It feels like you're riding on a bird of prey, the Raptor, and you're just soaring through several inversions, and this coaster is very powerful and intense, and it flies through some very wicked inversions, which includes a vertical loop, cobra rolls, zero-G rolls, corkscrews. It's just a very cool ride, and overall I really enjoy Raptor, and it is a very powerful coaster, and it's the 10th best themed coaster at Cedar Point. Number 9 is Iron Dragon. To me, it feels like you're on the dragon and you're riding through its territory, which is the forest and the water, or the lake, or a stream. Yeah. Iron Dragon, it feels like you're riding on it through the stream or lake. You're basically going over the water on Iron Dragon, or the trees, so it's kind of like that. So yeah, Iron Dragon's kind of like themed to itself, or like a dragon riding a dragon that's flying through its territory or something like that. Number 8 is Cedar Creek Mine Ride, and this coaster is themed basically to a mine train, or like the coal mines, kind of like something like that, like a mine train, like a mining style theme. Overall, it is one of the oldest coasters at Cedar Point, and it doesn't run as well as it probably did when it was brand new, which was almost 50 years ago. But overall, the theme of this ride is not bad. It's kind of like a Wild West style theme. So yeah, we're going to be moving on to number 7, Wicked Twister. And there's not really any theming in the queue line, but the name just fits with the ride layout, in my opinion. Because Wicked Twister has 2 twisters on both sides you twist, up and down each of them. And if you're in the back, one of the 2 back rows or 2 front rows, you're going to get some very intense spinning. But if you're in the middle, you won't really get that much spin at all. But overall, Wicked Twister, very cool ride, and the theme, and definitely a good name selection, in my opinion, for Wicked Twister, as there are 2 very intense twisting spikes. So yeah, moving on to number 6, we have Gatekeeper, and this is themed to like a bird, and it's going through its territory and protecting basically the gates, protecting the realm, kind of like a thing. It's kind of like what they did with the Battle for Cedar Point. They say like Gatekeeper. I believe it's protecting the realm, but overall very fun ride. Gatekeeper, one of my favorite roller coasters at Cedar Point, and it goes through some keyhole towers, and you feel like you're flying on the wings of a bird. So yeah. Number 5 is Maverick, and this is an awesome coaster. It's themed to like the Wild West and like flying through the desert and stuff like that. Kind of like a Wild West style theme. And overall, a really cool ride. Maverick's one of my favorite coasters at Cedar Point, and it's a just super intense and powerful ride. Very nice launch, drop, you name it. This is a great coaster, and its theme isn't a bad theme. Plus the trains, one thing that's cool about the trains, they have names to them. I don't really know what they are, but that's something to take note of when you go to Cedar Point. Notice the names are on the trains, which is really cool. Like each train has a name, and you're like riding. It feels like you're riding on a Maverick horse, and you're just flying through tight turns and stuff like that. It's really cool. Millennium Force is at number 4, and this is my favorite coaster at Cedar Point, but here is the thing with Millennium Force. It is themed to the 2000s and the transition from the 20th to the 21st century. And basically this coaster made bigger, better with its awesome layout with the crazy drop and bank turns and the fun airtime. And it feels like you're traveling through time, as there is some pretty cool theming. As you go through the first tunnel, you will see a bunch of dinosaurs, which is pretty cool theming because of dinosaurs alive. And then you'll go through another tunnel and be back in the normal position by the queue line. So overall, really cool theme. And Millennium Force, the music that's playing in the station just makes you even more excited for riding it and stuff. Like, it's just a pretty cool theme. There's not really too much theming after that, but overall, this coaster is pretty much themed to itself, is what people have said, aka Coaster Studios. But overall, pretty awesome ride. Number 3 is Valraven, and this coaster is themed to a Deathbird, the Valraven, and it's the tallest diving machine on the planet, or dive coaster in the world, as you would say. It's a massive ride. The trains are massive, and it's just a very big ride. Like, the drop is huge. The inversions are pretty solid. It is a very short coaster, though. I've noticed every time I ride this coaster, it seems like it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. That's one thing I've noticed when riding Valraven. Overall, very awesome ride. It's really cool. In the theme for it, there's actually a game, Battle for Cedar Point, on the App Store. It's a really cool game with some cool like quizzes and stuff, and overall it's a really cool app, and that's kind of a bit of the theming with the realms and stuff. Like, every like really major coaster has like a realm theme kind of thing, all in this game. When Valraven came out, the game came out. But overall, Valraven, there is also a giant Valraven bird and a huge throne chair in front of the queue line, and there's walls surrounding the queue line and stuff. So overall, very cool theme. Number 2 is Steel Vengeance, and just reading the theme kind of just makes me really excited for this coaster. With the Wild West and taking it over, like 3 Wild West characters basically join forces to make a massive coaster, Steel Vengeance, the world's first hyper hybrid. And this looks to be an awesome coaster. It could potentially be my number 1 coaster. This definitely looks like it will be on that elite tier of coasters, and will definitely be the best new coaster for 2018 once it opens. So yeah. Moving on, we have Top Thrill Dragster at our number 1 spot. And this coaster is themed to a drag racer, which is really cool. You will fly from 0 to 120 in 3.8 seconds. And you will go up 420 feet in the air and drop back down to the earth. And yeah, the ride's over after that. But the station is a really cool, like, it's like a pit stop kind of thing where the race car gets fixed and stuff. It's kind of like that, and it's overall a really cool theme, in my opinion. Dragster, and there's some pretty cool music playing in the station as well. And the trains are like drag racing cars. So overall, very cool theme. Dragster, in my opinion, best themed coaster at Cedar Point. And that launch is probably my favorite launch out of any coaster I've ridden. I really got to get back on it in 2018. This year, I need to get back on it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.